Hello, Earth Angel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you who have subscribed and are a part of this community. I feel you, and I love, it's an honor for me to be able to channel for you, so thank you so much. So today is the Lion's Gate reading that I was pretty much drugged by spirit, by my heartstrings to do this reading for you, for me also, I'm sure for the whole collective today. So I wasn't expecting to do this, but I felt very drawn. So I'm not sure what's going to come through. We're just going to let spirit tell us. I was guided to grab 7 card decks. We'll see how many come through. And let's see what else I want to tell you. So this is a really powerful time. This is, as many of you already know about the Lion's Gate, and that this time of year is always very activating and powerful as the new moon in Leo and our sun, Sirius, and the Orion's belt all come into alignment. I think I hit everything. Huge alignment, lots of galactic frequencies and encodings coming through, and I've been told there's going to be that coming through this reading here today. So this is not a pick a card reading, but the message is here for you. I think a lot of this will resonate with you, but please only take what does resonate and leave what doesn't, because this is a collective message. So I don't think I have to tell you anything else before we get started. I hope you're doing really well. Like I said, the energies, the ascension energies are really powerful right now. There's a lot coming through, so please make sure to take care of yourself and give yourself all that self-love that you need, because there's a lot of stuff, and it's all good though. We're like really getting some really positive, powerful energy coming into. So we're going to see what Spirit wants to say today. Like I said, since I was kind of just really pulled to this. Oh, and I wanted to mention too, my Lemurian Crystal, really, it felt important to have this Lemurian Crystal here with you guys today, so I want to share her with you. And this is, I got from my friend Leah at Dark Moon Crystals. She's amazing. This crystal is very encoded. Her name is Ligeia. She even has a name. This is Ligeia. So anyway, this crystal, sorry if that's, like, I think you get me. So anyway, that energy's gonna be here today with us. There's something about those roots, you know, being activated, the Lemurian, Atlantean timelines, and different choices we made then, and aligning that with now. So, yeah, okay, we're gonna get started. We're gonna start with the Archetypes guidebook. I said the guidebook. We're gonna start with the Archetypes deck. And I'm going to try to stay grounded because there's so much energy coming through. It's really beautiful. It feels like the sun to me. It feels very activating and loving, like this really bright charge happening. So we're going to start with this Archetypes deck and get kind of an overall theme of what is happening for us right now collectively, those people who are tuning in, those of you bright, beautiful souls that are here today. We're gonna get a kind of an overall theme for what's happening right now. I hope you're doing really well and enjoying this time in spite of some of the more challenging energies that are surfacing. Sorry, this is taking a little bit to come through. Normally they just jump right out of this deck. There we go. Oh, it's 2. Of course it's 2. I tried to take 1, and of course it's 2. Okay, so we have the Starborn. Look at that. Is that number 3? I think it is. The Starborn. Yeah, I'm going to, I know this has different meanings. I'm going to read from the book on these just because I'm not that familiar yet. And I just feel like there are good messages in there. So, you know, right off the bat, I'm sensing like through this Lion's Gate, through the codes and powerful energies that are coming through and have been since the beginning of July, actually, in a really powerful way. Like Spirit told me, and I think those of you who have been watching my videos, we've been preparing for this Lion's Gate for a while, and I read with one of the astrologers I follow, I can't remember which one, that this Lion's Gate of 2022 is really bringing a huge, like a 2-year cycle to completion, like when we start that we started in the Lion's Gate of 2020. So we are our starborn essences, you know, our light bodies, our DNA activations. We are being born through this portal, through this gateway that we're in right now, this fiery, like the sun, you know, I said I was feeling the sun. Oh, and I want to mention, because I feel like this is definitely significant, when I was getting ready, preparing for this reading, getting everything set up, and calling in the energies and protection and guides and everything. And look at this, we get the mystic too. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. When all of that was coming through, let's see how you see these. Okay. I was drawn to burn my copal. So this felt, I haven't burned that in a really long time, and I felt so drawn to burn it, and my heart feels really expanded from it. And I felt like a warm blanket come around me. And so the Spirit told me this is relevant for some of you, that some of you resonate with copal, and that will be something for you. If it doesn't, then it's a specific message, so don't take it if it's not for you. But for some of you, that's relevant. So that energy is very much in this reading here today, that energy of it feels like such a warm, supportive, protective essence. And I normally burn, you know, sage and Palo Santo regularly for clearing and lightening the space or whatever, but today it was definitely, I was drawn to that. So I wanted to share that with some of you because it's relevant. So we're being born into more of our essence, more of our truth of who we are, and what we came here to experience through this starborn energy. I love the egg is cracking, and I'm hearing that typical, not typical, but kind of, you know, well-known saying of, you know, the cracks are where the light comes in, you know. So that I'm getting that from this too, that, you know, some of us have been doing some really deep purging and deep shadow work, and feel like we're cracking open, you know. And so Spirit, this is a reminder that this is where the light comes in, you know, that sometimes we have to crack open to be born again, to evolve more, to grow into more of who we are. And the mystic, wow. I can't remember exactly, like I said, I'm going to read from the book here in a minute, because it's not a long read, I promise. I know some people get annoyed with that. But what I'm feeling from this is just this, like, yeah, between these two cards, like this deep essence of you coming forward, this like more of your soul, more of your light. And this card just always, I don't know if it says anything in the book about this, but this card also always reminds me of twin flames and like the moth to the flame. So, or, you know, soulmates, divine counterparts, this energy of, and I do feel like, you know, in 2022, that has been predicted that a lot of these relationships, connections, we could say even, because some of them aren't relationships, but that these connections are coming together to bring more of this starlight to the planet, because it's part of divine will and part of the plan. So you're going to see more and more of this either in your own life or those around you, or a deepening of this experience. And so there, with these kind of connections, whether they're romantic or not, there's the key to it, the ascension piece to it, is that there's this mirroring that happens, and there is this energy of magnetism that basically catalyzes growth, deep, powerful growth, something like this like cracking open kind of thing, where it brings things into the light that maybe you have hidden from yourself, or tried to hide, something like that. So that's what I'm getting from these to start. This is an amazing start, you guys. Like, I'm really impressed with this. Oh, and I turned right to it. I never do that in this book. That's amazing. Okay, so it says the starborn, the divine child, the star child, the destined. You know, and also before I started this reading, I was told to do a starseed reading for Lionsgate. So if you don't know what a starseed is, please feel free to Google that. Starseed meaning mostly with Dolores Cannon, definition by Dolores Cannon. So because if you don't know what a star child is or a starseed is, and you're here listening to this, chances are you probably are connected to that. And it doesn't mean you have to label yourself or anything, but there just might be information there for you. And many of you are going, yeah, this is I'm definitely a star child. I'm definitely a starseed. So many of you, most of you here resonate fully with this. I can feel that. And you are my people. We're all each other's people. Like we're all tribe, because this, you know, resonates. You wouldn't be here if it weren't resonating. So thank you again for being here. I really have so much love for you, really. So anyway, this says the keywords for this are the divine child, the star child, the destined. An elusive yet radiant aspect of the self. The starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light that arrives with each being at birth. The moment the newborn crowns, whether vaginally or surgically, the royal stars above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps our path in the world. Yep. As above, so below, you guys. The idea of destiny is controversial, yet the starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself toward a future that is beyond the mundane. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues and insight. What did you desire when you were young? Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. Beautiful. And so when this energy is in the light, it's a light, trusting, vibrant, and aimed. And when it's in the dark, it's a feeling of misalignment, loss, and loss of longing. So kind of an apathy. And then to go deeper with this, it's Tripping Over Joy by, the poem Tripping Over Joy by Hafiz. So that might resonate with some of you. I love Hafiz's poetry. So Tripping Over Joy, you might want to, if that resonates with you, check out that poem. And Shakespeare's Star-Crossed Lovers, it says also. So that's very interesting. And I said, you know, star-crossed lovers, because Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet were twin flames. So very interesting. And not that you have to resonate, or not that you have to really take on that label. I know that's a big thing too. We don't want to, don't over-label yourself in any area. You know, you are this starborn free soul, you know, free being of light, eternal being of light. So the labels are just kind of helpful to help navigate. You know, they're just there to kind of loosely navigate reality and help us understand. So anyway, this is so beautiful. So if any of you are feeling like you have been, you know, kind of off purpose, or like lost, or feeling like you haven't really been aligned with your purpose, I think through this Lion's Gate gateway energy, that's changing. You are going to feel aligned. You're going to start to get the messages more of what can light up your life, like what will bring you more into alignment and out of this feeling of the mundane. And yes, if you're a starseed, like I said, yeah, the idea of destiny is controversial, right? Depending on what you believe. But if you're a starseed, if you're starborn, if you resonate with that, you either know that you have a purpose, and you haven't found it yet, and that's really bothering you. So if that is, I see that changing. I see that, you know, let's see. I think the mystic is going to give us more information. I'm kind of searching for that now. This book is not in alphabetical order. It is by the numbers, but I'm not that great at those numbers. So anyway, I'll just keep talking while I'm looking for it. So, you know, so I think, like, I feel very aligned with my purpose, and I'm very, not that I feel like I'm full, you know, I feel like there's more to be revealed kind of thing, but I do feel very fulfilled. Like I feel like I am, you know, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful every day for that. And I didn't even, you know, and I realized that there's some people who are looking for that. And so it's coming for everyone more and more. And these codes, all of these ascension codes that are coming to the planet are here to really help us step into that, because that's what the new earth is all about. That's what we need. Nobody's, you know, the being held back by the shadow. The shadow's there for us to learn. It's there to catalyze us into greater light. It's not there to drag us down. And so, you know, this is being revealed for us. So let's see what the mystic says here. It is the seeker. The keywords are the seeker. Wow, you guys. The seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. So those of you watching who are familiar with this deck, you're probably like, yeah, Jen, I'm 10 steps ahead of you. Because you already knew what these cards meant. But whoa, the Starseed and the Lightworker. The double mission. This is what it's all about. I'm really trying to make this even, and it's hard to see, sorry. This is what it's all about, you guys. So the seeker, the lightworker, the dreamer. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. I can relate to that, and I think many of you can relate to that. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. I love this card. I didn't really realize it meant all of that. That is amazing. So this is what we're doing. We are alchemizing this energy that's coming in. There's so much fire energy coming in, and love is the greatest alchemizer, right? Love is the alchemizer. So we have more high frequency pouring into the planet right now. All you have to do is be open to receiving it. I know that it sounds easy, but sometimes it's not that easy. But this is why we're cracking open. This is what's happening, is that we're slowly transmuting the darkness within us, turning it into more light, allowing more of our star light, more of our soul light to shine into this life, to bring us into alignment with our true purpose and path. And that serves not only our own happiness, but the happiness of that's what heals the planet. Because as you radiate love, as you are in alignment, there's a resonance that happens. I mean, I love the word resonance because it explains the way that we are evolving. Well, the way we always have been, but it explains like exactly what's happening right now, that we are really shifting through resonance. And okay, so the light, when this energy is in the light, it is a remover of darkness, a visionary, and it's ageless and timeless. So it's this timeless visionary energy that can alchemize darkness. And then when it's in the dark, it expects results and it seeks attention and recognition. So that sounds like ego mind energy, right? Expecting results, seeking attention and recognition, demanding these outside things in order to cover up the darkness rather than transmute it. And then it says to go deeper here. What is that? So some of you might know what this means. I don't. Zen cones? I don't know. Poetry? I can get behind that. I love poetry. There is a poet card in here, and I kept seeing it in my mind's eye, but it never showed up. What's on the bottom of the deck, actually? No, the Judge. So that's good information, too. So the Judge is on the bottom of the deck. And that, so just a reminder of through this process, go easy on yourself. Go easy on other people too. yeah, allow this darkness to transmute. It is transmuting. That's what's happening through this Lionsgate portal. And that is, that's really, really phenomenal. So we got the Starseed and the Lightworker. I can't even believe it. All right, let's see what other messages Spirit has for everyone. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, which deck? All right, we're going to go with the, since we're on a roll, we're going to go with the Starseed Oracle deck. Messages, please, for this Lionsgate portal, for those listening, for the highest good, please, Spirit. Whoop. Yep, cracked open. Look at that. Unbelievable. I was seeing this card when I was talking about that egg cracking open. Cracked open. This is such a beautiful thing. Even when it's painful, it's beautiful. But like I said, a lot of times, I've said in other videos when this card has come up, that the beautiful thing about this is it doesn't always have to be from heartache or pain. It can be cracked open by bliss, by joy, by the overwhelm of positive experiences coming into your life or energy. I know that, you know, dreams coming true can be a challenge. That can really crack us open. We have so much resistance, and you know, some of us in certain parts of our ego, I think most people actually have, you know, levels of resistance to joy and love. I'm being drawn to the heart up in the corner. So, you know, being cracked open by love, and, you know, it does bring up the shadow when that happens. Like, I don't know if any of you have noticed that, but I bet a lot of you have. But calling attention to this idea that, you know, when you receive more love, so that's, think of like the activations coming through this portal are love, essentially. No matter what they're encoded with, no matter what the, you know, story, essentially at the core, the energies coming all around us all the time, but especially now through this gateway, are full of love. And love cracks us open. And it brings whatever is not love to the surface. And so this has been a huge process, I know, since for a while now, since we started this journey in such force. But it is increasing, and I've been feeling this myself, so I can relate to this. And so if you've noticed, like, anytime more love enters your life, this will happen, where, you know, if you, so like if I felt this with my baby for sure, like my son, who's not a baby anymore, but when you, you know, I felt my heart expand. I felt like I was cracking open. I had so much love for my son when he was born that I literally physically hurt, like my heart like around, it was almost like a chakra. I felt like someone was pulling me open, and I felt like I was cracking open, and I was crying a lot. I mean, some of it probably hormones, but a lot was coming to the surface of just shadow aspects, you know, of, am I worthy of this love, you know? And this can happen in romantic situations. You know, when you fall really, like for somebody, you fall in love, you know, it can bring up all the shadows, you know, all the fears, all the insecurities. And that's what the mystic is transmuting. And then, you know, also with career or jobs or abundance, you know, you get your dream career, and it's more than you could have ever imagined. It's so great, and so that cracks you open. Suddenly you're afraid of losing it. Suddenly all your fears and insecurities come up. Same thing with abundance. Overwhelming amount of abundance comes in whatever form, and it suddenly cracks you open. So this is what we're talking about with this Lion's Gate. This is what's happening, and that's so beautiful. And this says the Courageous Peony, another one of my favorite cards in this deck. Multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. So through this process, part of what's happening with this being cracked open, I'm feeling part of the beauty of this is to let yourself be seen. Let this process be seen and supported by others who are safe, of course, in your life. Because it will, I'm hearing that this will, you are, you know, if you're a starseed and a light worker, you're a way shower. So you're leading by example, by allowing your heart to be open, by allowing others to see that you're human, to see that you struggle, that you feel things in these deep ways, that you care on this level. If this resonates with you, this message is for you. So be courageous with who you are. Let your light shine. Don't hide yourself, because a lot of the things that we don't like about ourselves are exactly what make us unique and beautiful and multifaceted beings. And you know, sometimes is even what other people love about us. So this is what I'm getting from this card today, is be courageous with who you are and how you feel, and express yourself in this world. So if you've been waiting to put yourself out there in some way, whether it's in front of the public, or Spirit's saying one more card from this deck, whether it's from the public or being more courageous in your life with the people around you in your community or the people you love, this is what will really bring you into this more of transmutation energy. Look at this, and this says, forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader that you wish you had. I want to look at this a little more. Yeah, forge, don't follow. So through this energy, through being courageous with your letting yourself be seen, you will automatically be a leader for people. And I'm hearing, I just heard, whether you like it or not. So there's many of you, probably introverted souls, introverted empaths, who are like, no, I don't want to do that. But that's, you know, like, that's your comfort zone, right? But I feel like through this Lionsgate portal, there are activations coming through. There's energy available for you to help you step into this, and to help you see that you can do this in a way that doesn't have to be so uncomfortable. It might be a little uncomfortable at first, but then it's going to be rewarding. And like that fear of being a leader, of people actually, you know, there's like a, not only is there an attention thing, but there also comes like a little bit of responsibility, right, with that, you know. So I think a lot of us shy away from that energy of like, but it does often come from self-deprecation as well, of like, oh, who am I to be leading people? Well, you're you know, and it's not like you have to stand out there on a pulpit or anything or whatever, on a stage, and act like you are, or act like anything, like you're any kind of leader. It's just that by being you, by being this beautiful being of light, by being this soul that came here to help transmute these energies in these times right now, just living your truth, cracked open, being your heart and soul light, you automatically lead people just by being you. You don't have to do anything special whatsoever. Just being you is what helps transmute this world. And these codes are coming in to help you be more strong and courageous. And the bottom of the deck is earthed, learning how to be human, being in the world but not of it. So as many of you have already experienced or are aware, is that, you know, being most, if you are resonating with these messages, you're probably very sensitive and most likely empathic. So, you know, it's not that easy to be in the world. And that's what this courageous part is about. You know, it can be hard, difficult, challenging to be earthed, to be in a dimension that feels denser than what your soul is kind of used to in a way, or remembers. So there is that experience, and we're holding that experience because we're here to transmute it. We're here to hold the light and know that you have that within you. This is who you are. You're a natural born star. Okay, you're a natural born way shower, a natural born leader. Whoever is listening to this message, this is very powerful. This is a time where it's really important for you to step into who you are, to step into your truth and lead, even if you are an empathic, introverted, quiet person. Okay, it doesn't matter. Just by being the truth of who you are. You don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to call on a bunch of, get a bunch of attention. You don't have to start a YouTube channel. You don't even have to go on social media. Just live your life in your heart and your truth. But so this earthed energy is like, but what is required, what I'm hearing for some of you, so take this if it resonates, is that some of you have spent time, and I can relate to this, so times in your life, or even for some of you, most of your life, you have spent pulled out away from the world. Not really feeling a part of the world, not really feeling connected, not really wanting to engage much. And like I said, I can really relate to that. So, but this is what's changing, because the times are changing, the energy's changing. It's called for us to be in the world, being, what do I want to say? In order to live our purpose in alignment in this world, we have to be willing to be in the world. Otherwise, we cannot fulfill our purpose, because we're all here to lead. So it doesn't mean you have to force yourself into situations, that aren't good for you or aren't healthy or going to drain your energy. But it's about not hiding either. So you're being encouraged, like, and I'm hearing and feeling that, see this like bubble of light around her? Spirit wants me to tell you that you are protected. It doesn't feel like it sometimes, especially when you're being cracked open. But, you are protected, and it is, and, if you can just, trust in yourself of being your true self, just being really authentic, you will start to feel like you can participate in the world more. You will feel like you can trust. You're going to start getting stronger in this energy of transmutation, and people are going to be drawn to you. So, do whatever you do for protection, but don't hide. That's what I'm hearing. Just don't hide. If you need to take breaks, if you need to recharge, if you need to be very discerning, do all of that. But definitely don't hide. Because even if there's only a few people that you're around that this is affecting, that it's super important. It's important for you. Because this is part of your destiny and your purpose and your path. And so this is the messages that are coming through that. Wow. For you. So yeah, don't hide. You're beautiful. Be the courageous peony. Like, let yourself bloom. Be your multifaceted, unique self, because you are beautiful. So I also was really drawn to the Mermaid Oracle today. They were kind of insistent on this deck, so it'll be interesting to see what comes through. I am going to pull some tarot too, just because I love the tarot, and I know some of you do too. I think I'll do that next. We'll see. But yes, let's see what comes through the Mermaid Oracle. Ooh, okay. Atlantis, what was I saying at the beginning of this reading? Rapid development. Excellence, success. Beautiful. So we are bringing in these codes from Atlantis, from the Atlantean times. If you are listening to these messages and resonating, you had a lifetime or several lifetimes, maybe many lifetimes in the Atlantean timeline. And you are, so there's a lot of those codes coming through. Part of what we're doing as in this ascension is bringing into balance a lot of the experiences from the Atlantean timelines and the Lemurian timelines, bringing in the balance of the masculine and the feminine. So there's a lot of Atlantean energy coming through, which doesn't surprise me because of the Syrian energy. There was a lot of Syrian energy and Syrian influence in Atlantis. Some of you know that. And then also in Egypt, it's believed, at least from what my guides have told me, and I've seen other channels talk about this, that when Atlantis fell, when the flooding happened and everything burned and all that, some Atlanteans fled to Egypt, what we now know of as Egypt. So they went there and built you know, a lot of their culture there. And so that's why we know you know, that's the link between the Egyptian culture, images, all of that, you know, the pyramids and the gods and goddesses and just all of it really resonating with Sirius. When I first started meditating, well, I had visions when I was little of Egypt, what I thought was Egypt, and later in meditations and past life regressions and things, I kept thinking I was seeing Egypt, but it looked so different. You know, it had that galactic energy. And so sometimes I was seeing Atlantis and sometimes I was seeing Sirius. And that still happens, only I have a little better idea of what I'm seeing now when I see it than back then. So some of you can resonate with that. Some of you have had these visions before, or as I'm saying this, it's waking something up in you. Like I said, there would be codes coming through this reading, and this is encoded. So if you are part of this timeline, if this is part of your highest path and you are open to receiving it, these codes are coming through for you now. Atlantean codes of that, because it was a very high frequency society in a lot of ways, and it had timelines that could have gone a direction, but you know, of course, weren't destined to. There's that destiny again. So anyway, Atlantean energy coming through big time. That's so interesting. Can you see that if I put it there? I don't know where to put it. Yeah, wow. Let's see what else. That was so fun. Let's see what else is in this deck. That's amazing. Oh, love it. Oh, yes. And look at that. Conchomancy. Seashell divination. Wisdom of the shells. So this card, interestingly, for me in a lot of ways does remind me of Lemuria. You know, she's got that, she's this mermaid looking, you know, obviously it's a mermaid deck. There's a mermaid here too, but I don't know why it reminds me of Lemuria. I think because I feel like there was a lot of divination and shell related, that I feel like that we did this a lot in Lemuria, or maybe I just did. I don't know. This is coming through. This is interesting. So if that resonates with you, take it as it resonates. But anyway, when this card comes through, I feel like this is a call to the codes that are coming through now during this gateway are activating more of your ability to basically more of the oracle within, more of your ability to tap into your intuition and to really hear and connect with the divine. So this is a call to remember that you are the oracle and that you are the mystic. You know, you're the mystic, you're a starseed, you're a light worker. So you have the ability to use divination, whether maybe some of you are card readers or tarot readers, and we have telepathy on the back, because some more telepathy codes coming in too. And this card, even though it doesn't say it on there, so this says nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, mind reading. So these are all the, oh, okay, we're going to take it. And right behind it, sacrifice. Okay, this is important too. There are those worth making, and then there are those that will destroy you. So this is a very important piece of discernment coming in, you know. There are sacrifices that often are made, that are required on this path, but they are not sacrifices that, that will destroy you. And this is the discernment that we have to make. Am I sacrificing time, energy, a path, whatever it is, because it's worth it, because it is serving love, because this sacrifice serves a higher calling or a higher good in my life? Or is this sacrifice something that is going to drain you and ultimately destroy you and ultimately pull you off of your path? And so you can use divination, and if you're not comfortable, you know, reading cards or using the I Ching or stones or whatever, rune stones or shells, which I've never done, is kind of interesting. So feel free to comment below if you've used conchomancy before with the shells. I've never done that, and I really don't know much about it. So anyway, if that resonates with you, like if that's stuff something you like to do, then Spirit's reminding you that, you know, that could help right now. And listening to your intuition, knowing that that is going to grow stronger through these codes. The telepathy is going to grow stronger. Nonverbal communication. this is part of the Ascension timeline too, as many of you know. And this card always reminds me of twin flames. I mean, they're mirrored, they're in a heart shape, so whether you resonate with that label or not, divine counterparts, soulmates, mirrored souls. And, you know, that is part of the twin flame journey, is telepathy, that you have full telepathy with your twin because they are you, you are them kind of thing. But, and this is happening with like strong soulmate connections, any high level soulmate connection. So like I said, label doesn't matter. Don't get caught in it. But this telepathy is coming in for all of humanity. And actually, it's being enhanced through light language. Light language is a great tool and bridge for telepathy. It's amazing. It will strengthen your telepathic channels. Just experiencing light language regularly is amazing. So if light language resonates with you and you're feeling drawn to it, that's why. It's a beautiful thing, and allow yourself to continue to follow that if it resonates, because it will light up your heart. It will light up your ability to... So all of these codes are coming in with this Lionsgate portal. Codes from Atlantis, more on telepathy, and the ability to be more intuitive. And you're going to know where to sacrifice, if a sacrifice needs to be made. And I did hear that for myself recently, that there was something, you know, that what is, you know, one thing coming and then requires a sacrifice on another end. But it's not like a sacrifice that... Oh, I said I'd do the tarot next. Okay. And I'm trying not to make this video too long, you guys. I don't even know what we're at time-wise right now. What are we at? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to end it soon. So, all right, we're going to get with the tarot here. Yes, intuition's increasing. Telepathy's increasing, so trust yourself. Trust this experience, because it is happening. I have to remind myself of that sometimes. Like, this really is happening. I mean, you're not going crazy. It really is getting more interesting on an energetic level, and on a third dimensional level even, because it really is starting to come through. What spirit from the tarot wants to speak to this moment that we're in? Thank you. Messages for the highest good, please. They're kind of slow, able to come out of the decks today. Interesting. Okay. The Eight of Swords. Eight of Voices in this deck. This is the Muse Tarot. I'm going to get 3. And the Two of Swords, oh boy, okay. And so a lot of you are feeling lost. And the Queen of Swords, Queen of Voices, all swords. So this is telling me, what's on the bottom of the deck? The Hierophant. You are ascending, you are gaining spiritual knowledge, you are growing immensely through this gateway, through this Lionsgate portal, and in general. But that you're being very activated right now. So 3 Swords cards coming out. So that is air. That is, many of you know this. And this is, I'm sorry, I should have showed these to you. This is the Two of Swords. So this is a message for those of you who resonate with the idea that you have been in your head a lot. And that's what can happen, you know, when these energies come through, and it's like we're feeling the push, we're feeling the energy, the catalyzation to move into more of our divine purpose, to follow that path. And so when we don't feel aligned, when we don't know what that is, or it doesn't look like it's working out, we can get stuck in this head space. This card is just a head space of feeling, and it's very real. Like, you feel very trapped when you're in it. But it's just your mind that is trapping you. It's a story that is trapping you. You're not actually trapped. you can't, this card is different than the traditional tarot. And because in the traditional tarot, she's blindfolded and can clearly get out. So this blindfold could come off at any point. But the fact that, so I'm looking at this card in this deck, and the fact that there's these streams of light coming in, these rays of light coming in, even though she's blindfolded, and because there's these two little holes in the blindfold. So there has been a little bit of light coming through. You haven't been completely trapped in your mindset, but trapped enough to create a point of indecision. This Two of Swords is about being trapped in a stalemate within your mind. And, you know, it's like with this doorway here, it's like you don't know, you know there's a doorway, you know there's a path, you know there's a purpose. Like I said, if you are resonating with being a starseed and a lightworker, you absolutely feel like you are here for a reason. And so you know that doorway exists, and you know you're close. But there's a deep indecision about it. Like, which way, how do I get there? Which path? And so, you know, all of these being in the head. Okay, so we'll get to Queen of Swords in a second. But what I'm feeling from this anyway, because I'm not just reading the cards, I'm reading what I'm feeling and what they're telling me. So in the traditional Two of Swords, there are swords crossing. The person's blindfolded also. So there's a big message of being blindfolded, okay? Of like, you're not really seeing something clearly, either about yourself or the situation. And also, I'm getting from that blindfolded message of like trusting that even though you can't see everything that's happening, you can't see the end necessarily, it doesn't matter. Even if you can't see it through divination, because often we can't, right? The future is a mystery in a lot of ways. Every now and then it's hit or miss. We get inklings, but ultimately nobody ever knows. And so anyway, the Two of Swords is normally blocking, the swords are over the heart, blocking the heart chakra. So with all of these, with the mind coming up, with this emphasis on you're getting caught in your mind, in your thoughts, in your fears specifically, not just thoughts, but fearful thoughts, that experience is blocking your heart. And even in this card, it's blocking her heart. So allowing yourself to drop into your heart chakra. Stop the mind thinking that you can't do something, or you. So my advice to you. So if you are, take these messages as they resonate, because some of you feel very aligned with your purpose. Maybe you're just a little blocked. So maybe that's what I'm seeing with this light coming through. Some of you are not fully blocked, but some of you are fully blocked. So take this as it resonates, or not blocked, but feel blocked. You're not actually blocked. And see, that's the truth of it, is there's a blindfold here. That's the story. You're not actually blocked. Even if you don't know specifically what your purpose is, or what path you're on, or what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Remember what the message came through with the Starseed Oracle about just being you, and letting your light shine, doing the things that you love, being yourself is part of what will lead you into your purpose, even if you can't see what that is yet. You just follow your bliss. You know that saying is just follow your bliss. And that's what you do. You take the blindfold off, you stop blocking your heart, and where is your bliss? Your bliss is in your heart. That and your soul, but your heart is your gateway to the soul. And so that's where you find your bliss. So that's why there's no decision to be made at that point. It's like you follow it because your heart's open, and you're just following what makes you happy. And so any stories that you are carrying, Spirit's telling me right now that any stories that you're carrying about how you can't do this, or this isn't possible, or maybe you're not that kind of person, or maybe that's not going to happen for you in this lifetime. Whatever the story is, it's a story that's not true. You're blinded by this story. You're not seeing the light clearly. And the story is blocking your heart. So, and it's creating this indecision. And so when you let go of these swords that are in front of your heart, you might experience that feeling of being cracked open. The swords might be there to protect something. I'm getting for some of you, so take it as it resonates. So as you drop these thoughts, that, you know, are intruding, and they're making you feel stuck and trapped. Like, basically these thoughts, if you want to know, if you still don't know what I'm talking about, these thoughts would be like anything that tells you you can't do it, or that you're not good enough, or that it's too late. Anything that is like that is blocking love, and it is not a true story. And so then I want to get to this Queen of Swords, because it's like we did get that message of sacrifice that wanted to pop out of the Mermaid Oracle. So I feel like with the Queen of Swords here is the message I'm getting from her right now today. I'm getting that whether you're male or female, this is an energy. So I'm getting that this Queen of Swords, she is discerning. She knows exactly what to sacrifice that will serve her, and what to sacrifice that will not serve her. And she's got this energy of like no apologies. You know, like she knows how to do what's right for her with no apologies and no turning back. And she's very certain of her decision. And she uses that sword of truth. And the swords, to me, like with that kind of energy, with the queen holding it, or even the Ace of Swords, has this energy of like integrity, like truth, like real truth, like your highest truth. That's what needs to come through and cut through these stories, and maybe even cut certain paths or options out, or people out of your life. She has all those birds around her, you know, as air energy too, but these are the ravens. And the ravens, for me, remind me of, you know, the symbols of magic. And okay, guys, gals, I'm back. I know you don't know that I went anywhere, but the video turned off, and the recording turned off, and that has never happened to me before. And I've watched it happen to other readers and thought, oh my gosh, what a nightmare. And it was, but it's very interesting because, not a nightmare, I should reframe it. So I was just talking about a shift in perspective being magic, right? So what I realized when I realized this happened, and that I would have to go back into doing the reading, I mean, I went on and drew some other cards even for like 10 minutes. So anyway, what I got as soon as I was like, whoa, why did that happen? So this is a very interesting reading if you're here with me, and if you have stuck with it this long. These messages are really powerful. Spirit said there's a literal timeline shift. It's like I think I experienced this like collective timeline shift through the reading. So the message is very strong that part of what is coming through in the Lion's Gate energies and activations is major timeline shifting. And I have been seeing this and hearing this, you know, now that come to think of it kind of thing, in other posts by people talking about the Schumann resonance and the energies coming to the planet right now, is that we are in a huge period of timeline shifting, and we have to be very conscious through this gateway. I even saw this from an astrologer I follow, very conscious through this Lion's Gate about what timeline we're choosing. So that's a very important message coming through, so important that Spirit stopped the video and made me redo the ending, because this is a really important point. These timelines are so accessible, and so many of you watching this are looking for your path, your highest timeline, and that is in alignment with your purpose. And so all the messages that have come through this reading, you know, are to help guide you to choose, and either to stay on your highest timeline, because a lot of you are already on that trajectory, you're already doing it. You're already there. You just have to keep going forward, and, you know, take these blindfolds off. You've already got the light coming in. Okay, so it cut out again. So I think I'm going to leave it here for you guys. I have to fix the storage on my phone, I believe, but this has been a very interesting reading for you. Bottom of the deck I want to mention is Hierophant. You are on this spiritual path of enlightenment and growth, and the stars behind it confirming that you are learning to shine your light in a brighter way. You are coming into more of alignment with your truth and your soul light, and that these are the energies and frequencies and activations coming in for you through this beautiful gateway right now. So dream big, manifest your beautiful light, shine and radiate all of your love, because you are a blessing on the planet. Please don't ever forget it. And I'm super grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Sending you so much love and many blessings.